So hello friends, today we want to discuss about the presence of electron within the nucleus. This idea is satisfactory or not. So some common reasons we can say that the electrons within the nucleus is unsatisfactory. So we are discussing this point. The first point, that is nuclear electrons would need to be bound to the protons by a very strong force, stronger even than the Coulomb force, yet no evidence for this strong force exists between protons and atomic electrons. So that means nuclear electrons is the concept in which we are assuming a strong force, even stronger than the Coulomb force, which is not practical. So there is no stronger force exists between protons and atomic electrons above than this Coulombic force. So nuclear electrons is a unsatisfactory concept from this reason. Also some reasons are there. If we are to confine electrons in a region of space as small as a nucleus, and nucleus is a position of delta x is uh, 10 raised to minus 14 meter. That is a region of small space. The uncertainty principle would require that these electrons have a momentum distribution with a range delta p approximately h cross by delta x, then that's equal to 20 mega electron volt per coulomb. So electrons that are emitted from the nucleus in radioactive beta decay have energies generally less than 1 mega electron volt. Never do we see decay electrons with the 20 mega electron volt energies. Thus, the existence of 20 mega electron volts electrons in the nucleus is not confirmed by observation. So, mm, from the uncertainty principle, if we are considering a nuclear electrons, we are confined electrons in a very small space. Delta x is approximately equal to 10 raised to minus 14. So the momentum is approximately equal to 20 mega electron volt. So we are considering the radioactive beta decay. The emitted electrons only approximately less than 1 mega electron volt. So we cannot say the energy is about 20 mega electron volt. There is no existence for this concept. So we are assuming that the nuclear electrons is unsatisfactory because these reasons, and we have a few more reasons are the next, that is the total intrinsic angular momentum, that is spin of nuclei for which a minus z is odd, which disagree with the conserved values of a protons and a minus z electrons were present in the nucleus. Consider the nucleus of deuterium. Deuterium, we know that mass number is A equal to 2, and atomic number Z is equal to 1, which according to the proton electron hypothesis would contain 2 proton and 1 electron. Okay, 2 proton and 1 electron. The according to the proton electron hypothesis, okay, which contain 2 proton and 1 electron. The proton and electron each have intrinsic angular momentum of spin half, and the quantum mechanical rules for adding spins of particles would require that these 3 spins of half combine to form a total of 3 by 2 or 1 by 2. Here the observed spin of deuterium nucleus is 1. So if we are considering a nuclear electron, that is electrons inside the nucleus, we have to consider the spin of nucleus as the spin of electron plus protons. So if we are considering electron which inside the nucleus, we get that the spins as 3 by 2 or 1 by 2 by adding or combining the spins. So, but the observed spin of deuterium nucleus is 1. So, according to the concept of total angular intrinsic angular momentum of the nuclei, we cannot say the existence of nuclear electrons. Okay. Next point, that is nuclei containing unpaired electrons would be expected to have magnetic dipole moments far greater than those observed. If a single electron were present in the deuterium nucleus, for example, we would expect that the nucleus have a magnetic dipole moment about the same size as that of electron. But the observed magnetic moment of the deuterium nucleus is about 1 by 2000 of electrons magnetic moment. Okay, that is nuclei containing unpaired electrons would be expected to have a magnetic dipole moment far greater than those observed. If you are considering nuclear electrons, the magnetic dipole moment will be very greater than the observed. If a single electron were present in the deuterium nucleus, for example, we would expect nucleus to have a magnetic dipole moment about the same axis as that of electron. But we have observed a very small value, is about 1 divided by 2000s of the electron's magnetic moment. So that means the magnetic dipole moment, which is very small for the deuterium nucleus. If there is a nuclear electrons, the magnetic moment should be greater than that of the observed, but it is not possible. We get only a small value for a observed magnetic moment. Of course, it is possible to invent all sorts of ad hoc reasons uh, for the above arguments to be wrong, but the necessity for doing so as eliminated in 1932 when the neutron was discovered by Chadwick. These discussions or these confusions can be ended with the discovery of neutron by Chadwick. The neutron is electrically neutral and has a mass about to equal to the proton mass, actually 0.1 percentage larger than that of the what is meant by proton. That is the neutron, which is a new discovery by Chadwick, and it is electrically neutral. Okay, this is electrically neutral. Okay, electrically neutral and has a mass about equal to the proton mass. Actually, it is 0.1 percentage larger than that of mass of proton. Thus, a nucleus with a set protons and a minus set neutrons has the proper total mass and charge without the need to introduce nuclear electrons. So we get a unsatisfactory idea. Nuclear electrons can be avoided with this concept. That is, if we are considering neutron inside a nucleus, that is a nucleus with a set protons and a minus set neutrons. A minus set means mass number minus atomic number. Neutrons are present inside the nucleus and has proper total mass and charge. Without, we can't afford this unsatisfactory idea of nuclear electron. When we wish to indicate a specific nuclear species or nuclide, we generally use the form A set xn. Okay, this is the general representation of a nuclide. Okay, here representing what it is, atomic number. Here it is upper side, that is mass number. Here in right side at lower part, that is in a neutron number. So X represent a chemical symbol and N is the neutron number. A minus Z is the value which is same as the neutron number. Okay, so we can represent some general symbols, that is H110, U92 238 146, and 5626 Fe30. The chemical symbol and the atomic number set are redundant. Every hydrogen nucleus has Z is equal to 1. Every U nucleus, that is has Z is equal to 92. So we know that a symbol or a chemical symbol have a definite value of atomic number. So we know the examples for that. It is therefore not necessary to write Z. It is not also necessary to write N. So in the chemical symbol we can't specify every time the atomic number and the neutron number. It may or may not represent. Usually we only represent the atomic nuclei by their atomic mass. Okay, sometimes the atomic number and atomic neutron number is missing, so only a representation of a atomic nuclei by their atomic mass, since we can always find it from A minus Z. Thus, uh, 238U is a perfectly valid way to indicate that particular nuclide. So we can represent in a particular nuclide by just representing their atomic mass number. Is perfectly valid way to indicate that particular nuclide. A glance at the periodic table tells us that uranium has Z is equal to 92, and therefore 238 uranium has 238 minus 92 146 neutrons. That is understood from this representation. We can represent the atomic nuclide only by their mass number. So from this chemical symbol we know the atomic number. We can find the neutron number by minus mass number minus atomic number. So the facts about that is atomic number, mass number, neutron number can be get from a an atomic nuclei representation by representing their mass number. Okay, you may find the symbols for nuclides written sometimes with the Z and the N and sometimes without them. Okay, when we are trying to balance Z and N in a decay or reaction process, it is convenient to have them written down. At the other times it is cumbersome and unnecessary to write them. Okay, some balancing reactions, we have to balance situations in which we can represent Z and N. Otherwise it is not necessary to write in the way of representing atomic number, mass number and neutron number. Okay, sometimes without them we can represent the atomic nuclide. Neutrons and protons are the two members of the family of nucleons. We know that nucleons are the elements which is present inside the nucleus, that is neutrons and protons. When we wish simply to discuss nuclear particles without reference to whether they are protons or neutrons, we use the term nucleons. Okay, so neutrons and protons, simply we can say that the term nucleons. Thus a nucleus of mass number A contains A nucleons. So we can represent that is A nucleons are present inside a nucleus. Okay, when we analyze samples of many naturally occurring elements, we find that nuclides with a given atomic number can have several different mass numbers. That is, a nuclide with the set protons can have a variety of different neutron numbers. Nuclide with the same proton number but different neutron numbers are called isotopes. We know that what you mean by isotope. So isotope, simply we can say that same proton number but different neutron number, or the same element which have different mass number, which is isotopes. For example, the element chlorine has two isotopes that are stable against radioactive decay, that is chlorine 35 and chlorine 37, in which the atomic number is different for the same element, that is isotope. It also has many other unstable isotopes that are artificially produced in nuclear reactions. These are radioactive isotopes. So there is artificially produced nuclear reactions are the, that is radioactive isotopes of chlorine. Okay, it is often convenient to refer to a sequence of nuclide with the same N but different Z that are called isotones. So if two elements have same mass number, that is known as same if the often convenient refer to a sequence of nuclei with the same n, that is neutron number is same but different atomic number, that is isotons. That is stable isotons of n is equal to 1 is H2 and He3. So we know that the atomic number of hydrogen is 1, so neutron number is 1 here. By minus 2 minus 1 we get 1 for a neutron number. Here helium 3, we know that helium has a atomic number is 2, so 3 minus 2, that is 1 is neutron number. So we get same neutron number for these two elements. So we can say that the same neutron number means isotons. Okay, nuclides with the same mass number A is known as isobar. Okay, isobar. Thus, stable He3 and radioactive H3 are isobars. So here hydrogen have a mass number 3 and helium has mass number 3, that is isobar. Isobar means same mass number. Thank you for watching.